I distinctly remember like pulling up to a Walmart parking lot and praying to God that no one that was provocatively dressed or freaking wearing yoga pants or something was going to cross my path in the store. It was just this like sick pit in my stomach, this feeling of desperation. Like, I cannot control myself, and please, God, help me. I don't know what to do. And I'm going to then leave this store having noticed somebody having double, triple, quadruple takes at this person, feeling triggered in my body, feeling like I then want to go look at porn or whatever, right? And then I'm going to have to go home and like talk to my wife about this and how I'm having a hard time. And I felt completely emasculated, powerless, overwhelmed, and completely ashamed. And if you're watching this, like, again, this is like embarrassing to talk about, but maybe you can relate. Maybe you're going through the same thing. And that's why we need to talk about this stuff. But I literally wished that yoga pants were banned. I wish that they did not exist, right? And I remember seeing a beautiful woman and having the thought go through my head of like, how in the hell is that even possible? Like, that's not even right. That's what I would say. I'd see somebody beautiful and I'd say, that's not even right. That's freaking messed up. Like, that shouldn't even be allowed. Right? But that's what happens when you struggle with lust and your urges are out of control. You really start to hate beauty. And this is like, these are God's most wonderful creations. I mean, women are amazing. And I started hating women. And I hated the fact that they were beautiful. But really, it's because I hated the fact that I felt so powerless and out of control. And there was real world damage happening in my life and in my marriage. My marriage was crumbling. I had 3 little tiny girls at the time, my daughters. And I was terrified that I wasn't going to be enough to keep my wife around so that I could have my daughters in my life the way that I wanted. This was the reality that I was facing. And so sitting in that Walmart parking lot about to go into the store, I mean, the weight of this was real. As silly as it may sound to some people, and maybe even how silly it sounds to me now at this point that I'm at, but I can remember how painful that was and how terrified I was just to set foot in a dang store. So again, if you can relate, if this sounds familiar to you, just know you're not alone. Like, so many people are experiencing this. But I tried to exert tons of external control in my life as a result. I felt so powerless that I was trying to compensate with things like internet blockers, all of my devices being completely locked down, all the TVs in the house being locked down or password protected, etc., etc. I would give my phone to my wife to hold hostage every night, especially if I was sleeping in another room because I had just been dishonest or something and she didn't trust sleeping with me. I mean, there were all these things that I was doing. And then, like the grocery store example, like the tunnel vision, putting on the blinders, like white knuckling the frickin' shopping cart and staring at the handlebars, using my peripherals to make sure I wasn't running into anybody because I didn't trust like looking up and around the store. Yeah. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But what all these things did, all these external controllers that I put in my life, it just made me want it more. So then I'm looking down and everything in me is just like, I just want to look. I just want to look around. I just want to scan for anything, any potential around me that might give me a little hit, because I feel so miserable inside about myself that anything to take the edge off of this pain I'm feeling is all I want right now. And guys, at the core of it, that's what's going on. So we're going to talk about external controls versus internal self-regulation. Okay, and how when we have these external controllers plugged into our life all over the place, it actually drives that sense of desperation and it actually increases your urges. So let's talk about a few things that happen. When you have those external controls, it's going to increase that feeling of just being completely trapped. You're trapped, you're overwhelmed, it increases shame. If you have these controls, but then you still end up giving in some way, it's like, oh man, the external controls aren't good enough. Now I got to feel really bad about myself and I feel icky now, like it wasn't good enough. And now what does this say about me? And now I have something that I got to confess. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that it can just drive shame. Also, when you feel completely powerless, you don't feel like a man, right? Like, what kind of man can't handle walking through a frickin' grocery store, right? What does this say about me? So it's very emasculating. just strips away all your masculinity when you're in this type of state. Also, anxiety, fear, depression. I mean, you put your head on the pillow at night and you're like, yeah, well, today was wonderful. I had to pray to God that I could make it through a frickin' grocery store today. And I can't handle myself, and so I had to stare at the ground everywhere I went. And then my phone, it's so locked down, I can't even do anything. Like I have like Covenant Eyes on my phone. It completely messes with any internet connection, and it's all glitchy and buggy. Like just all these reminders in your life of just like how miserable your life is, right? And it really truly sucks. The other thing is it increases the urges, because we know that anxiety, depression, feeling powerless, feeling overwhelmed, shame, all of these things, those are the reasons why you're turning to pornography or a sexual escape to begin with. So if you have all these external controls that are increasing those things, well, guess what? It's going to make it worse. It's going to make you want those things even more, right? And then, like I mentioned before, it really can make you despise the beautiful things in this world. Women are beautiful. There are men that are beautiful as well. Like, there's so many good-looking, attractive people in this world, and God made them too. Is there actually something wrong with them? No. Like, what's going on is you're feeling tortured inside. And so we blame shift. And because we're powerless and don't know what else to do, we start to build bitterness and resentment towards other people we haven't even met, right? People that have done nothing wrong, even people that are modestly dressed, right, but are just really attractive. We start to demonize that as well. Well, on the other side of it, when we learn to have internal self-regulation, where we can manage our own emotions and process through urges and learn how to let them go, not to let them control us, right? We grow in confidence. We feel like a true man, right? When you can end the day being like, I can handle myself, and these emotions, yeah, they suck, they don't feel good, but I can hold myself in warm regard. I can make it through these difficulties. I'm gonna be okay. Like, it's a good feeling. And it boosts confidence, it boosts self-worth, self-image. It reduces shame and anxiety and stress and fear. And a few things that I challenge you to do actually in these types of situations is, instead of exerting all this external control and boiling over in bitterness and resentment towards people that you can't control, there are skills that you can learn that can help you face your reality, that can help you face some of these challenges. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that you just need to flip a switch and you'll just magically be able to walk through the grocery store without any problems. No, that's not the case. But there are things that you can practice and skills that you can learn where you can gain mastery over these things. But a big problem is that we're taught, that men in general, that we can't control ourselves. Like, oh, you look at porn because I'm just a guy and this is normal. Or, yeah, I check people out. Well, I'm just a guy. I have testosterone, I'm horny, whatever. Well, it may be true that you're a biological male that does have testosterone, you have fast accelerators in regards to your sexuality. You may have a chemical reaction when you see somebody that's attractive. Okay, that may be true. But lack of regulation is a lack of skill. Self-regulation, emotional regulation, urge management, all of those things are skills that you can master and learn. And so I want you to reject this idea that you can't do anything about it. Okay? If prayer is something that helps you, then absolutely go for it. But I was praying in the absence of any skill or strategy that would actually work for me. And so what I encourage you to do is to practice faith, that you can actually learn some skills that can turn this around for you. And I'm just going to share with you exactly some of the things that I did when I would be in a public situation, when I would struggle. So when I would see somebody that was attractive, instead of staring down at the ground or trying to avoid that person, right, which again would just feed into the urge. I mean, if I turned and went down the other aisle, everything in me was just like, oh, let's go down the next aisle. Maybe they'll be walking down that one, right? Like, how can I cross their path again? Like, that's crazy, but that's what would happen. My brain would do that because I wasn't facing what was going on. So instead of doing that, acknowledge that that person is beautiful. Just call it out. Wow, that's a really beautiful person. Acknowledge the fact that you're having a chemical reaction in your body, if that's the case, okay? Wow, that person's beautiful. They seem very attractive to me. I'm having this chemical reaction. and just call it out. You know what? I'm grateful that I'm a sexual being and things are working the way that they're supposed to. Okay. And then breathe. Breathe through it. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you or your body. Your body is functioning exactly how it was designed. You've just gotten a kind of over hypersensitized to this type of stimulus because you've used it as a method of escape. Okay, so just acknowledge that that's what's going on. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you for recognizing that that person was attractive. There's nothing wrong with them for being attractive. God made them that way. And you know, maybe they are dressing a little bit immodestly, but that's how they're choosing to use their sexual creative power, and that's their choice. And you can't control that, but you can only control yourself. So you breathe through it, acknowledge it, it's okay, accept it, recognize what's going on. What am I feeling emotionally? What am I feeling sexually? Am I feeling and experiencing arousal? If so, okay, cool. Just accept it. Then continue to breathe through it. And I challenge you to actually harness that sexual energy that's coming up. Focus on just circulating it through your body. Get it moving. If it stays stuck and you feel like it's trapped and you feel like you can't do anything about it, it's going to just expand until it feels like it's going to explode. Breathe, move it through your body, and again, just keep using that positive self-talk and saying there's nothing wrong. I'm okay, I'm a good person, even though I'm feeling X, Y, or Z. And you know what? This sexual energy, this is powerful stuff. And instead of giving it away to that person over there, I am going to channel this into my life. I'm going to channel this towards the person that I've chosen, my wife, my girlfriend, my fiance. That's the beauty that I've chosen for me in my life. There's nothing wrong with noticing that that person's attractive and having this automatic reaction. That means I'm human. But I have chosen this. And now I'm just going to reframe my focus over here. And you know what? I'm going to do it with an extra skip in my step. I just saw an attractive person. Cool, hooray. Good for me, right? But I'm not going to dwell. I'm not going to sit there and linger, and I'm not going to lust. I'm not going to imagine taking that person's clothes off, and I'm not going to, Google right after them with googly eyes, right? I'm going to move on, and I'm going to let it go. Breathe and let it go. And over time, you get through that successfully. We're not denying that we had this physical reaction, right? But then you're going to come out the other side. You're going to have let that go. You're processed through it. And now you're going to feel good. Like, hey, that didn't have much power over me. If it did have some, it's okay. You're a work in progress. But then you just go try again, right? Do it again. And it's going to get a little bit better. When you repeat thoughts in your mind that say, I'm powerless, I'm out of control, I can't do this on my own, what you repeat over and over become your beliefs. So if you stop doing that and you start saying, you know what, I'm a good person, even though I'm experiencing this urge, even though I'm struggling with sexual lust and what have you, I'm of worth and I'm getting better every single day. Well, those thoughts will start to become your beliefs. And what you believe comes true in your life. And so I hope that that helps, guys. I hope that this is just, I'm kind of just all over the place, just telling you my story, but I hope that this helps. These are just some things that I've done. The secret is in facing it. You can't run from this. You cannot run from this. If you run, it just gets worse. It's like that nightmare where you're, going up the stairs, it's dark in the basement and you're running and this monster's just coming after you. And the monster just gets bigger and bigger and bigger the more you turn and run away. But your power as a man is designed to turn and face you towards the obstacle. Your power is designed to give you the strength to conquer whatever it is that's in front of you. But you can't conquer it if it's behind you. Okay? So remember this. You do not need to hang your head in shame. You do not need to put on the horse blinders. You do not need all the accountability software, internet blockers. What you need to do instead is to face your urges and to learn emotional self-regulation. External controls just make the problem worse. You can't control other people. You can only control yourself. If you want more tips and help and support, or if you want to actually work hands-on with me directly, click the link below this video. I've got a free training for you there. Some information that's going to help you master your urges immediately right now. And if it's a fit, then you can apply to work with me directly. But guys, until next time, take care of yourself and go out in the world with confidence. You can do this. You can overcome this. Take care.